Okay, on to separating the liquids now, or mixtures. Now there's a couple ways we can do this, and we've talked about. Well, obviously we said physical separation of mixtures is a key. So what's one thing we can do? We can physically just take it apart. I can separate the blue from the orange, from the brown, and the yellow just by hand. That's a simple way to do it, and is available for some certain mixtures. Can't happen with all of them. Other situations we have, and I have over here, as you can see, I have some very dirty water, but it is water, believe it or not. So let's say we're out in nature and we're stuck and we need some water. What do we do if this is all we can find? Well, we certainly want to try and filter it as best we can. Now, I've created a filter here. Now, this is out of filter paper. You can find things in nature as well, use leaves or whatever we would need to do to try and filter something out. I've folded this over, so I've made like a triangle. As you can see, I cut it down to make it fit. Just throw it in here. You have your own little filter paper, and what it does, it's going to be the paper is, the holes are small enough to allow the water to go through, but it's going to catch the silt and everything, I hope. All right, so let's just give it a shot. Let's see what we can do. Now, unfortunately, it's not going to make it 100% clean, but it's certainly going to make my water more usable. As you can see, it is a little dirty. But up here, we certainly caught a lot of silt, right? So it did filter it out. It wasn't perfect, and certainly you can go back and then do it again with another tube. Maybe we can try doing it this way. Maybe go into the beaker then. Maybe we can make clean it out even more. As you can see, as we do it more and more, it's going to get clearer and clearer. It's going to build through that silt, and that's something that you want to do if you're ever stuck and you kind of get, you need that clear water. As you can see, it's clearing a little bit more at the bottom. Again, you can kind of keep doing that with different filters, different leaves and whatnot if you're stuck in nature. And then finally over here, I set up another distilling station. As I'm sure you remember this. My computer certainly does. This one's a little bit different. I've used a candle, and this is the salt water that we had from earlier. Right? This is the salt water that I put in. Had that mixture just a little while ago, and now what I'm doing is I'm distilling the salt from the water in my little distilling factory here, and you can see over here I have pure water, and because of this is being the salt being broken down and everything, the bonds being broken, we have an exothermic reaction. This is hot as well, even though there's no real heat source over here at all. I did have, I could quicken it up even a little bit more by having a cold jar of water that I could have put around here. I did not do that for this one. I just kind of put the distilling factor. But this is what we use, what they'll use for oil, right? Crude oil will be broken down into gasoline, diesel fuel, and other types of fuel for our personal use. Kerosene for your grills and everything like that. So these are three ways, and this is something, obviously, if you start a fire and you've distilled, you've kind of filtered that water out, you start a fire, you can do something like this, and now you can get your clean water that you'll be more than happy to drink. This is very clear, very clean, and something you'll be more than happy to drink rather than, something that may be not as clean as you'd like. So there's some ways that you can use separating mixtures to your advantage, if anything like that would ever happen to you. But that's what we would like to do, is separate mixtures in different ways. We also have chromatography to separate pigments. I didn't have a good lab that was quick enough to do on this, but maybe down the road we can do that on an extra day. All right, enjoy, and we'll talk to you soon.